Bull and the Bartender Show, Bull's Radio Lounge. Sorry, I had some little technical issues going on there. It's going to be a different show tonight on this October 27th, 2020. Mark the Bartender had some things he had to get done around the bar. And then Jazz had some things with work going on, which is cool. So we are joined, as you can see on the screen, and hopefully Joel will be able to join us here soon. But Joel D. Weinkoop is going to be part of the cast tonight with Rick Danford, the director, producer, all-around guy, just like Joel. Joel's king of the B movies. And then you got Belly from Gut Check making an appearance. All two so far. Let's see if they're up. Guys, are you with me? Are the hamsters turning?
I'm here, man.
Oh, there you are, my friend. I can hear Belly. And Rick, are you there, my friend?
I'm here.
There you go. Look at that. All star-studded cast of directors and, show hosts. And welcome to this show. Welcome to Bull and the Bartender Show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So this is kind of like the main show on the channel. And then we sort of have like Gut Check Live is on Sundays at 8. And then we're going to be starting a new one called, what's it called? Well, it's not really a new one. It's called Social Reload Show. And then that's what was sort of the original idea of doing, radio, or some sort of podcasting. So me and Matt, the savior of the channel, is going to be doing a 9 o'clock show and just sort of talking about things that are in different social media and getting into all that. But
Nice.
Rick Danford is joining us. What was that? I don't know. That was strange.
Morse code.
Yeah. Rick Danford as well as Belly. We'll get into both of those guys, backstories here soon and what they're doing, what they're doing, what's the future hold for them, and what are they creating now, what's going on. And I think Belly is doing some back surgery or neck surgery, I believe. So,
yes, sir.
But we'll get into that here later on in the show as well. Joel Weinkoop, he was also going to appear as well, but I don't know if he's I'm kind of nervous because I don't know if he's able to do it. I put everybody in a group chat to that way I can do, one text at one time, but Joel has not, responded. I don't know if he's okay or if he's able to do it. Because we've had him on the show before and we've had him do it by Zoom, but I don't know. So it's hopefully Joe will be able to come on here and join our cast of different job titles. Kind of treading water here.
So smooth there, Bull. Very smooth.
I know. It's like I was treading water over here. I was trying to think of something real smooth to say, and then
Miscreants.
It's just silence. That's what I'm afraid of because I'm also trying to do another show, which is sort of like Bull's Thoughts. And so I've done sort of solo shows before, but it's sort of not, gone really well in the past. So, because I'm so used to that, bounce back and feedback and stuff like that. And, and then when you get up there and you sort of do a solo show, you're kind of thinking in your head, am I funny? Am I not funny? Is people getting my stuff? Do I sound horrible?
Your dry, sarcastic humor.
Yeah, I know. But who was the best at doing that? Who could carry on a 2-hour show was 25 Cent.
Yeah, he's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, he could carry on a 2-hour show. Rick, do you know who 25 Cent was?
I don't believe so.
He was part of the Above the Low Sponge crew, right? And he could do a 2-hour show, without a problem. Every once a week or twice a week when he did it. So he was really good at that. But Rick Danford also is a guest tonight on our show. We were very humbled to have you on. You have done multiple movies. You've starred in multiple movies. Produced. What haven't you done? I mean,
I don't think I've sung, but that might be in the cards coming soon.
man, it's
We got a bit for the show, Bull.
yeah.
Karaoke.
I know that would be a
Scary.
different
Karaoke.
karaoke. Yeah. Well, especially for like Halloween coming up too. You know, that's,
There you go.
But there's no Halloween anymore.
There's
Yeah.
still going to be Halloween.
They are Rick. Are you gonna be dressing up? Are you gonna what's going on with you?
There's actually a food truck rally in Plant City on Friday night, so I'm going to get
Is
right out
there?
of work, take the kids there a little early. They do a little trick or treating, and then to give them some sort of normalcy, we're actually going to do a little bit of trick or treating with some rules on Saturday night.
Are you gonna come out of your bubble and actually go into public?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be as careful as I can be, though, because my surgery's next Wednesday. So I'm trying to do
Oh.
everything I can to avoid anything postponing it.
Rick, you have no idea what Belly over here has gone through with this whole COVID thing, right? He's created this sort of like bubble around himself
That's right.
to where he isolated himself for like 2 weeks.
I was sick, so I thought I had the damn thing at the beginning. If you go back, it's actually a pretty funny bit in one of the shows that we did on Gut Check, where Bull's ribbing me and I'm going through my whole thought I had COVID story. So and all the rules that I instilled for my household.
Yeah.
It was pretty humorous listening back to it.
He had like palm scanners and one of those static free rooms and all that stuff like that. It was just so much just sort of dealing with all this stuff and COVID and what he had to deal with.
But be safe and sorry, man.
Better be safe than sorry. Yes,
I agree.
But Rick, man, what are you working on so far?
Well, we got a couple things right now that we're getting ready to premiere. This Friday, there's a thing in Tampa. It's called the Creature Feature Film Challenge. It's
yeah.
basically a 2-week film challenge where they picked a genre and a creature for us. And once they did that, we had 2 weeks to write a story, cast it, shoot it, and turn in a 5 to 8 minute completed short film. So we met the deadline, and it actually premieres during their festival this Friday at 8:00. It's called The Foretelling, about these 4 witches who get together and shenanigans ensue. And then right after that, on Saturday, is premiering my new. I'm doing a radio show because COVID kind of shut down productions everywhere. So when that happened, I wanted to try and find some way to continue to be creative. So I basically created my own radio horror show, kind of in the vein of the old radio horror shows I used to listen to on the radio when I was a kid. And so I write my own episodes, cast it, edit it myself. And we have a very special Halloween episode that's going to be pretty highly controversial, and it's going to be a little intense. And it's actually premiering on Halloween Day. So called Bad Candy House, written by 4-time Bram Stoker Award finalist Jeff Strand. So I'm really, really excited about that one.
Wow, that was quite a promotion, my friend. We'll have to
Actually, I do have to give Rick some
Yeah.
props. I actually have listened to No Sleep Tonight. I've listened to It Waits and The Beast Must Eat. It's very, very good. And it kind of reminds you of, for the people at home, like listening to what Orson Welles doing War of the Worlds over the radio, like back in the day. Really, really entertaining, really good stuff. Sound effects, voices, good stories. Really entertaining listen.
Thank you. I created most of those sound effects myself too, out in the backyard, breaking branches and walking around, opening and closing doors. To me, that's the funnest part of the whole thing, is trying to figure out what sound effects will work and how to create them, and then plugging them in. So it really works out well. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's. I listened to quite a few of them, and the sound effects that you add in, the voices that you do with them, all the people who participate in these shows, it just it just creates this whole imagery of what what you're trying to paint, this picture you're trying to paint, and and I applaud that. That's a nice show. It's a very good listen, and I enjoy, especially the last one. The Halloween one that you had me preview, that was, oh wow, you
that one should turn a few heads.
What's that?
That one should turn a few heads and get a little attention.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean that was sort of one of those things to where. I was not expecting. No, I don't want to talk about it. No. I don't want to talk about it because
No spoilers.
No, because let's just say that it's you'll definitely enjoy this Halloween episode, and not enjoy it in sort of a cynical, mastermind type of sense, but sort of, just the imagery that it portrays. Some of it might be a little bit, but
yeah, it was definitely something that I considered when we did it, but obviously that's why I put warning signs on the poster I put out there. I put warning signs all over the website. I even said a warning at the beginning so people understand that there's going to be some disturbing imagery. But at the end of the day, it fits in with the story. There's a very, very angry individual that the story is about, and he does some very, very angry things.
Yeah, I mean it was 23 minutes, and it's very detailed in those 23 minutes. Like, just the imagery that you portray narrating this whole thing is, I mean, you could just write a book about all the stuff that you could do,
Yeah. And that's part of the fun is that I'm able to get people and actors and actresses that are all over the country that are able to participate. Like at the end of that episode, Tom Savini actually plays the cop at the end of it. He's in Pittsburgh. We can't afford to fly him down and put him up, for a little bit part in a radio show, but he records his audio there at home, sends it to me, and I plug it in, make it sound like he's, actually in the action. So, and even the first one, It Waits. We got Scream Queen Brink Stevens from California.
Right.
And she was able to record her audio from home and send it to me, and I plugged her in as the psychiatrist. So, it's like I said, that's part of the fun is figuring out a way to just make it happen.
So how does that call go to Tom? Was it Tom Savini, right? How does that go? What do you ask him? Do you sort of say, hey, look, we're doing this for this, or I mean, does he?
Well, Tom and I have been friends and communicated for many years now because it all started back in, I think, 2001 when I wrote my first movie, The Web of Darkness, and I reached out to him to read the script. I wanted to try and get him in it, and he read the script and he said he loved it, and he flew down and he was in the movie with me. And ever since then, we've stayed in touch. We wrote a script together. We just communicate pretty much all the time. So when this part came about and I had a little bit part, and I know that with COVID and everybody not being able to do a whole lot, I figured let me reach out to him, since it's convenient and he doesn't have to leave his house to do it.
Right.
If he has time, maybe he'll do it. So I reached out to him and he said, sure. Wow. So he recorded the lines for me and sent them to me and I plugged them in.
And that's pretty cool, man. That's so interesting how you have that kind of, reach to have people like that in your shows. And then that way they know that you're going to be producing a high quality episode, kind of like what we do here, but
absolutely. I mean, that's the thing is I'm making sure I get it done too. I mean, I don't want to get people involved and ask people to do this or do that, and then you don't actually produce anything, and that stuff, spreads pretty quickly, and they don't want to really work for you anymore.
Right.
I want to make sure that if I ask him and pitch something to him, that I get it done. So.
And how long does it usually take to put these shows together, normally?
It depends. This one didn't take as long to put together because it's basically him telling a story. So it's just one main guy, and there's a couple little bit parts here and there and throughout. So this one flowed pretty good. But another one that I'm working on that I'm going to have ready for November called The Devil's Chair. That one's got multiple actors, multiple scenes, multiple locations, so a lot of sound effects and everything. That one's taking me a little bit longer to do, but I should have that one done hopefully by next week and have it ready to roll by November.
Now, is that based on the actual Devil's Chair that's here in Florida?
Absolutely. We went there and actually saw it. It's one of the urban legends for Florida. So we went to Casadega, We tried to go see it at midnight because that's when you're supposed to see it and all that stuff's supposed to happen, but they had it locked down pretty good. So
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
ended up reading a book called Erie, Florida,
Yeah,
and
I've heard about that.
they
Yeah.
had the story in there, and we quoted the book and got a book from them as well. So we're quoting and giving them credit in the actual audio thing, but we basically just made up our own little story about what could possibly happen at
Huh.
the devil's chair, and things definitely go awry.
Yeah, yeah. Because I first saw it. I was talking about. I think it was one of the show stories I was prepping for, and it was Adam the Woo that went to the Devil's Chair,
Mhm.
and so he sat on it, he put a beer on it, and I don't think it crushed or leaked out or anything like that, but that I think that's the whole thing, wasn't it? Where the beer can would crush, and sort of like crumble or the next day or something like that.
Well, supposedly, per the story, that if you leave a full beer there and even leave it unopened, if you
Yeah,
come back the next day, the beer can will be empty and it'll still be unopened.
right.
So that's supposed to be the thing, or at least one of the
Did
legends.
you
Yeah,
did you try it out or
we
no?
take that legend in a little bit of a different turn and make it
Uh
a little more elaborate and have some
huh.
fun with it. But I think it's a good episode.
Wow, that'd be nice to hear when it comes
Yeah.
out. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that's cool because how you integrated that actual urban legend into one of your stories, and sort of elaborated on, things of monsters and ghouls that comes out and all that stuff.
Yeah, to me, it makes it a little easier too with radio because when you're making a movie, you've got to go in secure locations, and then there's
Yeah,
costumes and everything else. I mean, to
yeah.
give you an idea, right after we do the Devil's Chair, I'm doing another special episode uh, about Jack the Ripper.
Oh
So
wow.
we're gonna
Okay.
have to recreate, 1800 London, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot easier to do that with radio than it would
Right.
be for me to go out there and have some elaborate sets and everything else. So I'm very much excited about that one. And that one, we're actually Jack the Ripper is actually going to be one of the main suspects that was named because obviously, as you know, Jack the Ripper was never caught, but there were like three
Right.
or four people that they suggest were potentially Jack the Ripper, and one of them is the guy that I'm mainly focusing on, and he's an incredible character. But I actually got in touch with his great great grandson, and his
Okay.
great great grandson is
All right.
actually helping me with the story and is going to play a part in the show.
Wow. No, this is you get. I mean, is this what you and don't? Let me ask you this because I'm just sort of curious, and I'm
Mhm.
sure people who are listening are probably curious as well. But is this sort of your main gig? Like this is what you do 40 hours a week?
Oh, no, no, no. I have a
Uh,
regular job. This is all stuff that I do on the side.
okay.
This
All
radio
right.
show, as a matter of fact, is very experimental. I didn't know if I could even do it. I
Uh,
actually played a role in a friend of mine's radio play on his podcast,
yeah.
and I liked it so much. And I started thinking, I can't go out and film because everything was shut down, and I've got all these ideas going in my head. So I wonder if I could do this. So when I
Yeah.
did It Waits, it was really an experimental thing just to see if I could
Okay.
pull it off. I
Right.
thought it
Right.
came out pretty good, but the bottom line is I'm trying to get better and better with each episode, and really, but I'm pretty much doing it all myself. Laying in bed and editing and putting it all together. So I'm trying to get more elaborate and get better with each episode. So I'm hoping it's going to sound like that at least.
Oh yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, even the one that I listened to was really good. I mean, it was.
And multiple editors and really turn this into something major. As a matter of fact, the episode that's going to premiere on Halloween, Bad Candy House, that's the first script for this show that wasn't written by me. It was written by Jeff Strand. So, like I said, I want to try and get other people in there and other story ideas and stuff. I'm all for that. I'm all about opportunity. So definitely.
Now, is once everything goes back to quote unquote normal, would you want to like possibly take take this concept and like do like an anthology type TV type show like they used to have on Showtime, where they had like different stories. It was like an hour and a half long episodes, but it's all like an anthology type deal. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
You mean turn it into an actual movie, so to
Yeah,
speak?
or actual like TV show where each episode is a different story, but it's on TV instead of the radio.
Oh, absolutely. I would. I'm definitely up for that. One of the episodes that I'm writing, which is about Bloody Mary, is based on a short film that I did. I'm hoping to turn that into a feature. So, I mean, I used to listen to a lot of those old shows back in the day, and there was the CBS Radio Mystery Theater and the Mysterious Traveler and Quiet Please and stuff like that. And some of those episodes I can remember to this day that I thought, like, my God, those would be incredible movies. So I'm really hoping that one day people realize that there's a lot of great stories.
I was trying to hold so I can go in there. All right, we'll be right back. Bull and the Bartender Show. Don't go away. Good stuff. Be back in a minute with more of Rick Danford and Belly. We'll get into Belly's what's going on with his surgery next. Try to get Joel on. See what's going on with him. Be back in a minute.
Stare up at the stars. I like driving in my car. All around is anger, automatic guns. It's death in large numbers, no respect for women or our little ones. I tried talking to Jesus, but he just put me on hold. Said he'd been swamped by calls this week and he could not shake his cold. And still this emptiness persists. Perhaps this is as good as it gets. When you've given up the drink and those nasty cigarettes. Now leave the party early, at least with no regrets. I watch the sun as it comes up, I watch it as it sets. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Oh my, 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 it's a beautiful world. I like sleeping with Marie. She is one sexy girl, full of mystery. She says she doesn't love me, but she likes my company. For now that's good enough for me. Oh my, 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 it's a beautiful world. I like swimming in the sea. I like to go out beyond the wide breakers, where a man can still be free, or a woman if you are one. I like swimming in the sea.
thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived?
Bulls Radio Lounge. Bull and the Bartender Show. Welcome back. Rick Danford, I hope he'll come back. He hasn't signed back into Zoom. Hope everything's okay. Belly, I believe, is locked in with the satellites.
I am here, my man.
All right. Good to have you on. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Please thank Mrs. Belly for allowing you to come on to the show and be the only co-host that's on the show right now. I talked to Joe Weinkoop during the break, and he said he's trying his hardest to get on. He's having issues with his microphone, but we kind of made headway and said, hey, look, why don't you try like a 1/4 inch or a USB or something like that. So Joe Weinkoop, thank you, my friend. If you can come on, if you can't come on, then I understand. Just text me and let me know. It's okay, buddy. Just breathe. You'll be all right. So Rick Danford, hopefully will come back on and join us for this next segment. I was in our conversation. I hope he knew that we were doing like a whole show. A 2-hour show, you know what I mean? So
Right, yeah.
But please thank Mrs. Belly for me, will you? That way,
I definitely will. She's probably happy I'm out of her hair.
All right, so let's. Are you okay? Are you comfortable about getting into what's going to happen like next week?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
You okay?
good.
You talking about? You okay? Talking about on the air?
Yeah, I'm an open book, bro.
All right, I just want to make sure. All right, so since I first met you, and all right, so I don't know, I really hate tiptoeing. All right, so
Just fucking say it.
yeah,
Man.
so all right, so how I met you was
Tinder.
yeah, Tinder. Swipe left or right. I don't know how even they do that, up, down, left, right, down. I don't even care. So anyways, it was Lent from, what was it? I think it was Off the Cuff, right?
Off the cuff, yep.
Yeah. And had you come on, you guys are brothers. And so, went through all that stuff and then blah, blah, blah. And then we come up doing a show called Gut Check Live, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was Gut Check Live with Belly, I think it was.
Yeah,
And,
then we changed it.
Because it was actually surprising that she sort of texted me and was like, hey, look, what do you think about doing a show? And I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's open it up. What do you want to do?
I'm glad I made you excited.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is great, So I was like, yeah, man, this is your show. You do what you want. You talk about what you want. We'll talk about politics. We talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. And that's what we've been doing. We've been talking about politics and Trump and all that stuff. And I've been learning a lot of stuff from that. So,
some good arguments.
Oh, yeah, very good arguments. So from that point on to following up to probably the last show that we did, I noticed that you've had some back issues. We've talked about that as well. Yeah. And is it your what is it, lumbar or thoracic, or where is it at?
No, what's happening now is, well, my whole spine's fucked up, but the issue I'm having now is my cervical spine. I got a bulging disc and I got a herniated disc where it's pressing on some nerves, and I'm getting like numbness in my hands. I'm losing arm strength and pain in my shoulders and my neck all the time. And so I'm actually having that corrected Wednesday. They're going to actually fuse my C5 and C6 together.
Oh, that's right there where it comes from your neck to your thoracic, I believe.
Yeah, right when it starts, like right the middle of your spine,
Yeah.
but mine's right in the neck. But I'm doing a minimally invasive surgery just to be safe.
Uh-huh.
I'll be on the shelf for 2 weeks to 2 months.
Oof.
I'll be wearing a neck brace for 2 months.
Is that why you
so-
sleep too?
Say again?
Is that why you sleep as well? Like you have to wear that thing as you sleep?
Yeah, I got to wear it 24 hours a day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's the
Ah.
one thing I'm not looking forward to.
How you got to take a shower and all that? I mean, you take a shower with it?
I just got. I mean, I got to wear. It has like pads. I go to my pre-op appointment where they give me all the instructions Thursday, but I got to change out the pads. I'm gonna have a home health nurse come to the house for 4 straight days after my
Wow.
surgery to make sure everything's okay and check on me.
Are you going to be like sort of tubes coming out of you and stuff like that, or?
When I come home, I'm gonna have a drain. So if for excess bleeding or whatever in
Uh-huh.
my neck, so I got to be real careful.
Oh,
That first day at home.
wow.
But they take it out the next day. But
That-
you know,
okay.
I need it done. Like a couple of weeks ago, I tried to put up curtain rods for
Wow.
my youngest
Yeah.
son, and I don't even have the strength to drill
Oh, really?
into the wall anymore. And I
Yeah.
kept dropping the drill because I was losing feeling in my hand. So it's stuff. I just need to have it done.
All right. So you're gonna have surgery. Now, is this the first one? Is there 2, or is this sort of the only one you're doing?
Oh, this is the one I'm doing for now. I got 2 different opinions. The one doctor, because I have a whole issue with my spine where it's like curved the wrong way,
Yeah.
and he straightened it out. But that's a really big surgery where they cut me from my neck to my ass crack and they shove rods and stuff in me where I look like a marionette puppet, and it takes about a year to heal. And I'm like,
Ah.
yeah, let's see if we could do the smaller surgery
Yeah.
and see if that takes care of
Now,
some of
how
these
are
symptoms.
how are they going to fuse your vertebrae? What is the how is that process, taking place? What is the do they take like cement and E6000 or what's going on with that?
They're gonna make like I think it's either a quarter or a half-inch incision in my neck, like the front of my neck,
Yeah.
to get to the disc.
The
They're
front of
gonna
your
take
neck?
the 2 discs out, and then they put like a spacer kind of thing
Okay.
in. It actually over time, which is why I have to wear the brace.
Uh-huh.
It actually fuses the spine together. Like it's kind of like a glue that keeps the spine together.
Oh.
And then they're gonna put like a metal spacer with 4 screws into my spine as well to
Oh.
hold it together.
And so I'm assuming there's going to be a quite a bit of pain along with this whole procedure as well.
Yeah, the doctor says he's gonna give me some good drugs for a little bit.
Let me ask
But,
you this: how is your anxiety level like right now? Literally like what was it, next week? So a week out. What is your anxiety level right now?
I'm looking forward to having like the numbness and the pain go away.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the being uncomfortable with the brace on. I'm all right now. Probably like a
Yeah.
day or 2 out. Like the day of the surgery, I'll probably be nervous because it's a surgery. You're getting cut open
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But right now, I'm all right. I'm doing pretty
Okay.
good.
Yeah, because I remember my surgeries, man, and they were, man, I was like freaking out a little bit in my head, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great, blah blah blah. Like the one I did with my eye, right?
Yeah.
The nurse is like, well, we're gonna put you in a twilight state, and I go, really? You are? They're like, oh yeah. Like, no, you might want to put me in a deeper sleep than that because if I wake up, I'm gonna be looking like Godzilla through here.
I'm gonna wreck this bitch.
Yeah. I woke up twice during that surgery. So all right, so you're having your neck fused, and you're gonna have possibly pins put in your neck or your back later on. You're gonna be out for at least about 2 months, and then what is the either the outcome or the side effects? Well, obviously your pain's gonna be gone, your numbness is gonna go away. That's the hope. But
No, the doctor said the numbness will go away because
okay.
they're going to be taking out that disc and putting that spacer in
So
where the disc is pressing against the nerve. So that's
Yeah.
going to automatically go away.
so
It's just the time frame is for the two vertebrae to become one solid bone. So
Okay.
that's what the whole time frame is.
So how are they going to, like, how do you get the disc around the nerves to where you're not, disturbing the nerves to you won't go, like, quadriplegic?
Yeah, that's what I'm paying him for. So
I mean, doesn't that sort of make you nervous a little bit to where it's like,
I mean, with any surgery, there comes the risks. I've researched this guy
Yeah.
that's doing it, and he comes highly recommended.
Okay.
He owns the practice.
Yeah.
It's a private practice. And these guys, this whole practice does this minimally invasive. It's not like they're cutting like a big portion of my neck and stuff. It's gonna be a small little incision where he could just get in there. I have confidence in him. But like with all surgeries, there's a risk involved. That's what you sign up for when you do a
that's
surgery.
true.
But you gotta think positive. You think happy thoughts, and you could fly like Peter Pan.
Yeah, I mean all surgeries are like that. They're sort of like, holy crap, this is really what's going to happen. But it's I'm glad to actually get you onto the show before you have to do it, and I appreciate you doing it, even though you're probably in a lot of pain and.
Yeah, I took some stuff before the show started,
Yeah,
so
so you're
I'm doing
good.
all right now.
You're
But that's why I was
pre-game.
saying how long we going for, because I don't know how long I'll actually be.
Yeah, man, it's
worth
whatever.
it.
This is sort of a loosey show, loosey goosey show. Halloween is this. What is it? Is it this? No, not this Friday, but the Saturday, right?
Halloween Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I guess no trick or treating.
No, we're gonna go check. Like they wanted to do it actually this Wednesday, but I
Yeah.
said no. I want to give my kids some sort of normalcy before this, because it's been, hectic since March,
Yeah.
and now you're gonna add another 2 months where I'm gonna be sitting in a chair with a brace on my neck. I want to at least give them something, that they recognize as being normal. So I pushed it back a week so they could go trick or treating and do Halloween stuff.
Nice. Now, are you going to be able to work doing this?
Yeah, I'll be out. I work behind the desk with my regular 9 to 5er, so I'll be out at least 2.
Still there? Did I lose him? Man, what is going on with these shows? Every time.
Oh, did I lose you?
Ah, there we go. I was about to figure out what the hell is going on.
No.
Every time I do these specialty shows,
did you hear everything I said? Or?
No. Every time I do these specialty shows, it always like something goes awry. So stuff like somebody can't log in. Stuff like that.
I mean, well, shit, you're dealing with 2 internet connections, the connections in the neighborhoods that we're in,
and I'm running off of a Ethernet, like cable straight to the modem. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm on wireless, so it's probably mine. The government's listening to what we're saying, all this stuff.
All right, so you're gonna have the surgery next week, and we're gonna be you delayed it for a week to do trick or treating, which was awesome. Any last thoughts? Any sort of like, wow, this is kind of crazy type of thing, or no?
I'm looking forward to it. One thing I want to thank her in advance, Madam Belly. She's going to take a brunt. She's basically going to have to do everything around the house because the doctor says I can't do jack and shit. So, she's going to basically go from being a married woman to a single mom with 3 kids instead of 2.
Yeah. No. And I understand that. I mean, that's, it takes a lot to sit there and, get all that under control, and then also have to make sure that you're cool too. You know what I mean? So,
I'm going to be a good boy, do what I'm told. We bought a recliner for me so I could be comfortable and just bug her when I need to. And, we'll get through it, man. It's just another hurdle in this thing called life.
Hold on just for a second.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to fix a glitch real quick. So Halloween is coming up, and like we said before, I don't know if there's going to be any trick or treating going on or nothing like that, but hopefully, by next year we'll get to some sort of normalcy, if you will. Having said that, to talk about quite a unnormal sort of, and we don't normally do this, but I wanted to touch on this because I kind of found it interesting how he sort of left the interview. Did you see that one as well?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
That's what I thought. I thought that's what you were gonna say was,
He's just an idiot.
I mean, she was sort of. I watched a little bit of it, and like I said, I'm not voting for anybody, so they'll probably think, oh no, you shouldn't be talking about it if you don't vote for anybody. And I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'll talk about what I want to.
Yeah, talk about whatever you want.
So, but that's usually what they say, the trolls. They're like, wow, you can't talk about it. You didn't vote.
The trolls can lick my balls.
All right, so Trump was interviewed by 60 Minutes. And I'm sure everybody's heard, this thing over time, and people have talked about it. And I just wanted to see, what your thoughts about it and, how you took on it, even though he's, in your words, he's an asshole, just in case you're listening.
What happened was disgraceful. Should never have happened. They should never.
So I just
have
sort of kind of
displayed,
skimmed through
get
this
out
whole
of China
thing
and go throughout
Yeah,
the
yeah.
world.
the other day.
188 countries. Should never have happened.
4 years ago. You were behind in the polls, as you are now.
There was one, and I'm trying to remember what part of the story that I saw it on, but she talked about his sort of his rallies, right?
Yeah.
How nobody's wearing masks, right?
Right.
And it's like, all right, you're not wearing masks. Why not? What's going on? I think I have found it right here. See if I can play it. Hold on, stay by.
And about these rallies you've been having.
A lot of people
with
are wearing
people,
masks.
A
and
lot
they're
of people
outside.
aren't. I'm watching all these people jammed in together, and I'm seeing most of them.
This is from
without
60
masks.
Minutes.
And I'm wondering the message.
And he's talking about
that-
how the people are just standing around in the rallies, not wearing masks. They have live cameras everywhere.
that you're sending with these pictures coming across
Take a look.
television.
Yesterday, we were in Arizona.
Okay, my thing is, it's like, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Belly, but what is the problem with people deciding not to wear masks? What is the issue with that?
So, the masks, okay? Think of it like a condom.
Yeah.
So, if you wear a condom, it doesn't fully protect you or the person you're sleeping with,
Uh-huh.
but gives you a layer of protection. So, the more people that wear masks, the less particles from like air droplets leave your mouth and get in the air, especially if you're not social distancing and you're stuck in like a rally. I think it's like 40 minutes to an hour he talks. I don't know exactly how long it is.
Do you think that's, because she drilled him on it. She sat there and, said, oh, she pointed the finger at him like, oh, this is the message you're sending him. Is that sort of necessary to, sit there and do that? I mean, what is the point of drilling him about that?
This is one of the arguments me and you had on Gut Check one time. He's the president, and these
Yeah.
people at this point, and there's no other way to put it. Like, if you're a diehard Trump supporter, everything
Right.
he says is gold. It's kind of like a cult. So
Yeah.
he's like, whatever he says, they're going to listen to. So, he sits there and says, we give out masks, but he doesn't make it mandatory, and people are wearing masks, and he makes all these excuses. So if he just got on the mic and said, hey, you guys need to wear your mask. The mask is mandatory here at the rallies. These people would listen to him.
And don't you
But
think that he probably said that? Don't you think that he probably said, hey, look, blah, 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 wear the mask, and they said not to wear the mask?
He doesn't say it because,
Well, how do you know? I
she
mean-
even presses him on it.
Uh-huh.
And he always sits there and says, oh, freedom of choice, we're Americans, blah, 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 blah. He gives all that the patriotic,
Yeah.
lines.
Okay, but I mean, do you think
but-
that she's sort of, maybe asking the wrong questions or just sort of like pounding on things that, just won't let things go? Because, I mean, it's got to be sort of hard for a person in that sort of, level of degree, knowing what the job is, right? But then also sitting there going, being pounded for everything that you do at one after another, after another, after another, and just sort of like doesn't give up. You don't sit there and have sort of, I guess, your privacy, if you will,
I mean, you're the president. You're not going to have any privacy. That's the job you signed up for, man.
Well, no, and I understand that, but I mean, it's like, you pick your nose wrong, and they're going to pound you about how you picked your nose, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's like I said before. I think it's kind of cool that we have somebody that's different or not as a politician, if I may say so.
He's the perfect politician. Like, he gives politician answers.
Yeah.
Like, he may have started not as a politician, and he said off the wall stuff. He still says off the wall stuff, but
Right.
he does it in a politician type way now. I come on the shows and on my own social media, and I talk about he's an idiot and he's a moron and stuff like that. But in ways, he's very smart. He knows how to get his message to his people.
Yeah.
And to have his people defend him.
And he knows.
When it comes to like having actual brains and plans and following science, he's an idiot. He's not that smart in that regard. But when it comes to his messaging to his base, that's all he cares about. He's extremely smart.
Right. I mean, and he knows what he's doing. He said come on. You're head of a bazillion, dollar company that makes you, $45 gazillion an hour. You know what I mean? You know what's going to stir people up, and you know what's going to do that. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh yeah, he knows. He's playing the game well, and he knows how to get rises out of people.
Yeah.
But I mean, when the rubber hits the road, I mean, he's done this country no favors when it comes to this pandemic. He needs to stop the lying. I know it. I mean, he's a narcissist in my opinion. So I don't even think he knows that he's lying as much as he's lying, and he just believes everything that he says. But I mean, some of the stuff is blatant lies that's easily debunked. But like I said, he knows how to talk to his base and his people, and they defend him. Like when he sat there and said that he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose a vote, he is absolutely correct. He would not lose one person in his base that are dead set on supporting him.
Now, do you think that in this sort of, because what is it, next week that all the voting is going to happen, right?
The 3rd is the election.
Yeah. And when's your surgery?
The 4th, the next day.
Oh, geez. Wow. All right. So once they get the election next week on the 3rd, okay, next Wednesday, what do you think that it's going to be sort of a big, rally, gang busting either way? Like if Trump wins for another 4 years, right? Do you think there's going to be sort of like this, mass of people who are going to uprising and start destroying things?
I mean, you're going to have your people that are upset or whatever, but I don't think like anything horrible is going to happen either which way. It also goes by how the math is too. If it's a close race and Trump wins, or if Biden wins, either way. Because if Biden wins in a close race, Trump is fighting this tooth and nail, and it'll get ugly. So that's why I'm kind of hoping that either which way, it's going to be like a big landslide where there's no doubt,
right?
And there's no question about it. I'm big in the stats and stuff like that. So I look at the polling and I look at the actual map itself. I don't see how Trump can landslide. It also depends on your definition of a landslide. But I can see different avenues where Biden can landslide. But even if like Biden landslided him and took away some red states and he won back all the states that Trump won, and let's say he had like 400 electoral votes, I still think Trump is going to fight a tooth and nail saying it's fake, because that's the narrative that he's been putting out since Biden got the nomination, that this is going to be a rigged election.
He knows how to work the game.
Anything ugly is going to come from Trump, in my opinion.
That's because you automatically hate Trump.
Well, no, it's the truth. I mean, if you go back and you listen to him, it's going to be a rigged election. The only way Biden's going to win is if it's rigged and this and that. He didn't want the absentee or the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
all this different stuff. He's setting it up to where he's gonna play victim if he loses the election.
Time remaining in the interview.
I think we have enough of an interview here, Hope.
So this
that's
is where he
enough.
decides
Let's-
to walk out. He's like, you know what? Now they're in the White House, right? They're in, I guess, in the Oval Office. Is that where that is, or something like that?
They're probably in one of the offices. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly which.
And
room.
so they've got a whole set. I mean, you imagine the security that you have to go through. You're the production crew, right? And you have to set all these like lights up and run your cables and stuff like that to properly light, Trump and the interview lady, right?
yeah,
And they have to check all your gear and make sure nothing's in there, and X-ray and everything. I mean, that's just probably a whole nightmare of a job, I think. But
yeah, it's probably an all day thing.
yeah, well, probably 2 days thing, probably, to be honest with you. But anyway, so he decides that he's had enough of her questioning, because I guess she doesn't ask the right questions, or
No,
keeps
she
on.
doesn't ask the questions he wants.
Oh, is that what it is?
I mean, like, look at the beginning of the interview, the very, very beginning, before they even like rolled the camera or whatever. I think even on the 60 Minutes, they played this part. She flat out asks, "Are you ready for some tough questions?" And he goes,
Yeah,
"No."
well, I remember that because he keeps on talking about it. He's like, "Oh, I got some tough questions."
Yeah, I just want you to be fair. I just want you to be fair. Like, what's his definition of fair? Questions that are softballs to him. Then he always goes back to, "Oh, you won't ask Joe Biden these questions." Well, Joe Biden's not the fucking president. I'm nuts. I mean,
go.
he's got asked plenty of. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got you.
Okay, I heard dead air for a second.
Yeah, I got you.
He gets asked plenty. Like, I watched both town halls. Thanks to YouTube, you can watch one then watch the other one.
Right.
He got asked tough questions, and some of the stuff that Biden says I don't agree with, but Trump is the master deflector and spinner, and he doesn't answer a question.
Because he knows how to work, He knows how to work it.
Yeah, but I mean, people that aren't smart enough to the bullshit. I mean, it works against them, but he's already got those people. No matter what he says, Trump should have went after people that he hasn't, or were undecided and hasn't gotten a vote. What are the plans and stuff like? To me, in my opinion, he hasn't done that at all.
Very.
He plays the
interesting.
same song and dance.
I love how people just sit there and argue between Biden and Trump, because it's like
They both suck.
Well, no, because it's like they have, to me, in my opinion, I have no idea what these people do in their spare time. All I see is what the media, shows. You know what I mean? And, people just sort of make up their mind about that because that's the only source of information they have on a person. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what's exactly going on behind all this stuff. Does that make sense?
People live in their bubbles. You got you got your people that are in their far left bubble.
Yeah.
You got your people in your far right bubble.
I've
But,
seen
I mean,
people hit.
You got to
other
win the
people.
people in the middle that have
Right.
that think critically and ask these hard questions. And Trump, in my opinion, hasn't succeeded in doing that at all.
And, I've seen people hit other people over Trump. Like, one guy got hit because he wore a Trump hat, like a "Make
Yeah.
America Great" hat,
Like, stuff like that's
hat.
ridiculous.
But people are so upset about it that if they see something that involves with Trump, they're like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta, end this now."
Oh, you should see my fucking neighborhood right now, dude. Like,
Oh, really?
it's I live in conservative Plant City, so
Oh yeah.
I got one neighbor that has like 1,000 Trump signs in his yard, big old flags, and
Yeah.
all this shit. It's all in my neighborhood. I just laugh at it, like when I drive by it or something.
There's a story about a local story here in Tampa that there was a voting a precinct. No, I'm sorry, in Pinellas County. I think like St. Pete or something like that. But they were a voting precinct, and somebody had hired security to set up, like armed security, to set up for people who were voting for Trump. Like
Really?
Trump supporters.
I didn't see
yeah.
that.
And they set up, and people were like upset because they were armed, I guess. And the commissioner, the sheriff's guy, he was like, "Nah, they were in their legal rights. Somebody, hired them. They set up their deal, and that was it. We can't do nothing about it."
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm like, wow, are we at that point in our life and society that we have to hire security to intimidate people who are voting for somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I had a disagreement with someone today. It was cordial,
Uh-huh.
but I said we're too far gone, man. It's how it used to be with political disagreements and compromise. That doesn't happen anymore. It's either it's my way or the highway, and you're wrong and I'm right.
Right.
There's no compromise anymore.
And it used to be when they back in the day, it'd only be like one or two, political commercials that you would see, and then now it's like every channel you flip on there, it's Joe Biden this and Trump that, and it's like, my goodness.
It's so, but you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. It's so bad. Like, I mean, we watch like Hulu and shit like that. My 6-year-old looks at me and goes, "Is Joe Biden really going to raise our taxes?" I'm like, you're 6, man. Just worry about, Yo Gabba Gabba or something.
Yeah. So this is where he walks off the set.
Let's go meet for 2 seconds, okay?
He tells somebody, "Let's go meet for 2 seconds." Does that mean it's like, "Hey, look, I'm kind of pissed," but that doesn't mean the camera I'm pissed? Like a sign?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. I'll see you in a little while.
So he's like, "I'll see you in a little while." Like he's like, "You done pissed me off."
He can't handle tough questions. Like,
so you think he
that's
walked
why
off
he
the
hasn't.
thing? Like
that's
a
why he
little
hasn't
baby?
done many interviews like this. Every
Yeah.
interview like this, there was one on HBO. I think it was Vice, where
Uh-huh.
the guy like reamed him and stayed. He didn't ream him, but he stayed on him.
Yeah.
And because Trump likes talking in generalities. They say they've been saying nothing specific, and the guy's like, "Who's they? Tell me
Right.
who." And he just can't answer that because he's a bullshit artist, and that's why he likes sticking to Fox, because Fox throws him these softballs,
Uh-huh.
and the OAN network and all these right wing networks. Because as soon as he gets to a mainstream network or anything other than in his lane, he melts down. He can't handle it.
You can't handle the heat. So he's getting out of the kitchen. That's why I said, let's meet for 2 seconds. It was longer than 2 seconds.
Thanks.
Yeah, he was gone.
Be careful.
Be careful, don't trip over the wire.
We were scheduled to take a walk with the president around the White House grounds.
I've
Nah,
got a
'cause you
lot
pissed
of
him
questions
off.
I didn't ask.
While we waited to see if the president was coming back,
Rich?
his press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, came in with
Is that the one that's retiring, you said?
Say it again.
The Kayleigh McEnany or whatever her name is?
Oh, Kayleigh McEnany.
Is that the one that's retiring?
No. She's the press secretary. She's the young blonde chick.
I thought they said
that's,
that or you
professional
said
liar.
or somebody had said on the news that she was retiring.
She might be. I don't know. I honestly, in the last couple weeks, I haven't been watching. I mean, I watched the news here and there, but I wasn't
Yeah.
like when we were doing the show every week.
Right.
I was researching all these stories and all this stuff, and I was deep into the news. It's like with the COVID stuff and the election stuff. Like once the election time, like a month out, I tune out the news because everything is
Political.
negative and
Yeah.
these fucking ads and all this shit.
a hand delivery.
Leslie, the president wanted me to deliver his healthcare plan. It's a little heavy.
Now she just delivered a very thick book, like I don't know, and I don't know who the reporter is that's doing with 60 Minutes, but she just got handed this thick book, like a
Yeah, with empty pages.
is that what it was? Empty pages?
Yeah, I think they have like executive orders that it's supposed to be his healthcare plan,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have a healthcare plan. It's a lot of empty pages and executive orders and memos and shit like that. It's not an actual healthcare plan.
What is it?
It's bullshit. It's more bullshit saying that, hey, we did this. We have this healthcare plan, but they don't. It's like they think the reporter's dumb enough to not open the book to see that there's a stack of empty pages in there, and this is just a bunch of horseshit that you're handing her.
In this interview, you'll see that she thumbs through it, and she'll tell you something that is not in there.
Oh my God, this is his health care plan.
Yes.
Okay, Kayleigh, thank you.
His actual health care plan.
You're welcome, and the vice president will be with you shortly.
Okay.
Now is that girl? Is she? What is she to him? Like, is she like the announcer of like, the news people?
the chick that gave the
book to the reporter.
big paperweight to
Yeah.
the reporter is
big
Kaylee
Webster's-
McEnany. She's the press secretary. So she goes out, and when the press they do press conferences, and the reporters ask her questions on the president's positions on stuff. She's the official spokesperson.
Okay. See, I'd be a dick to these reporters. I'd be like, yeah, that's what I said. You got a problem with it? What do you want to do? You want to talk about it? You go back and say, you want to meet the Secret Service guy? He'll take care of you. Any more questions? I wouldn't even, these people are too, whatever. Anyway, so.
And the president's not coming back?
The president's giving you a lot of time.
It was heavy.
The president's
filled with-
giving you a lot of time. Is that what she said?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
he wasn't coming back. He was
Ah.
being a little bitch, crying about getting asked tough questions.
The executive orders, congressional
I can't lift
initiatives,
it.
but no comprehensive health plan.
So, in that thick sort of Webster's Dictionary, old, English version, right, book that she has in her hand, okay, she thumbed through that whole entire thing and couldn't find anything that she was looking for.
No, she asked for because Trump's been saying let's get rid of the ACA, Obamacare, and we're gonna have a great big health care plan.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, when's it coming out? And for over a year, he's been saying, give us 2 weeks, give us 2 weeks, give us 2 weeks. And in this interview, she was pressing him on it. What's in the plan? What's in the plan? He had no details of the plan, and she kept catching him because he says that they do have a plan. Then he says, we will have a plan. And the reporter's like, oh, you will or you do? And he's like, both. Right. He gets caught up in his own lies, and she was catching him in it. They don't have a health care plan. If they strike down the Affordable Care Act.
Was the book given to her sort of like an FU type of thing?
Yeah, it's basically saying here are the executive orders that he put out, but that's not what they're asking for. They're asking for a comprehensive health care plan
that's a thick
that you're
book.
going to have in case the Supreme Court strikes down Obamacare.
That's like a 5,000-page book that looks like.
It's a couple of trees that died for no damn reason.
And then that's what she said. She thumbed through it, everything, and she found nothing to what she was looking for.
She got paper cuts. That's basically what she got.
National initiatives, but no comprehensive.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit more. Well, this is before he walked off.
Walk with the president around the White House grounds.
Listen to what she
I've
says
got a lot of questions I didn't ask.
when she gets
While
the
we
book.
waited to see if the president was coming back,
Rich?
his press secretary, Kaylee McEnany, came in with a hand delivery.
Leslie, the president
That's where she gives her the book.
wanted me to deliver his health care plan. It's a little heavy.
Oh my God, this is his health care plan.
Yes.
Okay, Kaylee, thank you.
You're welcome, and the vice president will be with you shortly.
Okay. And the president's not coming back?
The president's giving you a lot of time.
So the president's giving you a lot of time. Is that sort of code for, you just press my buttons? You better watch what you're stepping on?
It's you upset him, and now he's crying and whining about it.
Do you think the Secret Service is sort of like giving her the eyeball?
No.
Like
I'm sure those Secret Service people are like, I can't wait for this shit to be over.
They're like, God damn it, you pissed him off. Now we got to fucking deal with his whining and crying.
Now I got to deal with him and go out and get him a couple Big Macs, fat bastard.
It was heavy, filled with executive orders, congressional
can't lift
initiatives,
it.
but no comprehensive health plan.
So my question is that she went through all that book and didn't find that 5,000 or 6,000 page, Encyclopedia Britannica novel, and she didn't find what she was looking for.
No, she asked about the healthcare plan.
That's what I'm saying. So what
there's
was
nothing in there.
how did she have time to go through all that?
I mean, if you actually on some of the stills,
Uh-huh.
you can zoom in and the pages are literally blank. There's nothing on the pages.
Really? So it's just a big thick book of nothing.
Yeah, it basically the press secretary could have gave her a sack of actual shit, and it would have been just as much of a healthcare plan as what they gave her.
That's too funny. If he did that as a rib, right? That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like the old Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Like you open up the Acme
Yeah.
book, and if I thought it was gonna blow up like a little bomb or some shit.
See, that'd be funny. She goes back to her producer and she goes, "This is what the president gave me." And if I was like the producer, I'd be like, "Oh, that's funny." And she goes, "What's funny?" I go, "He just gave you a big giant Encyclopedia Britannica book full of nothing. What a
Yeah.
great rib."
The
Because you
only
were
thing, like, what keeps sticking out in my mind is when they decided to, because they had to go get that binded and like an actual book. Is
yeah,
they went to some fucking intern and with all these reams of blank paper,
right.
like, hey, make that into a book. And that was this person's job for the day, is to take these blank pieces of paper and make it into an actual book,
But yeah,
so they can pass it off.
if he
as
came
something.
on the news the next day, he goes, "You know what? This is an announcement I want to make, but the interview on 60 Minutes, I gave the reporter a big giant book of nothing.
Yeah.
What a rib. Ha. You know,
At least
then-
like have his crayon drawings on
Yeah.
there or some shit.
and the whole news crew are like, what just happened? Oh my gosh, top of the news, a rib from the president to the reporter.
Or at least have it like a couple of sentences in that big Dr. Seuss font type, where it's like 3 words on one page kind of a thing. Have
Like
something on there, not blank book.
Like a Willy Wonka style page where it's, thick at the top and little at the bottom.
Yeah.
But,
Scratch and sniff, something.
That's awesome. What a great rib. And I'm sure he did that on purpose.
Of course he did it.
I bet you he did it on purpose. She was hounding him about that. She was like, and then of course the vice president comes in and he goes, he's sort of like the smoother outer. He likes to smooth things out. Because he's that very smooth voice.
Oh, he has that politician's voice. Well, you got to understand,
Yeah.
and this and that, and the president does great leadership. Like, you're so full of fucking shit.
Here
Hello,
he comes,
Leslie.
come walking in.
Mr. Vice President.
While our interview with the president did not go forward, the one scheduled with the vice president did.
He's making sure he
So
looks
what
good on
just
camera.
happened with the president?
Leslie, President Trump is a man who speaks his mind. I think it's one of the great strengths that he's had.
See,
See,
just right there.
he goes into that politician voice.
Yeah.
Leslie. Well, the president.
Well, the president, he does what he does, and he speaks his mind, and sorry that you can't handle it. My bad. Grow a pair. Or something like that. That's how you have to be nowadays because everybody's so freaking sensitive about everything. You have to sit there and somebody can't take a rib or a joke or, because back in the day you and I could joke openly about, whatever, right? And nobody would be upset about it. They'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool, ha, laugh, funny, right? But nowadays it's like, oh man, that's horrible. You disgust me. You're a horrible person. Let me wreck your life.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cancel culture. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a couple of words or a couple of topics that I don't want to hear jokes about that I'm
Yeah.
sensitive to. But for the most part, like for example, comedy. Like,
Right.
who the hell wants to cancel a stand-up comedian? That's their job, is to push the limit. Like I've been watching SNL, and I'm a big fan of Bill Burr. I don't know if you know who
I know
Bill Burr is,
Bill
the
Burr is,
comedian.
yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't check out his stuff on Netflix, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he says extreme stuff,
Right.
and he did SNL, and he was the host, and he did one of his bits, and it didn't go over. And it's not that he wasn't funny. It was funny. It's this cancel culture, and SNL's audience is a liberal audience, and they weren't finding the material funny because it was, stuff that pushes the envelope to subject matters that they don't like.
Right.
He's a comedian.
Right.
That's what his job job is,
Exactly.
to do that.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a stand-up comedian on there, and he has a reputation of talking about this fringe stuff, you got to expect that. It's like like Bobby Bowden. He came out and he supported Trump, and if you remember Bobby Bowden, the old football coach for Florida State,
Uh-huh.
and people were all up in arms in social media about it. I'm like, he's a 90-year-old white man from Alabama. Who do you think he's going to support? It's like, why are you shocked by this?
Wow, what does it matter? I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like when they we're removing all the statues here in Tampa, right? Which, okay, I get it. I understand what your voice and your opinion is, but probably 90% of the time, people that walk by these statues, right? Because I've had a hard time trying to figure out who they were, or what they were, and where they're located at.
Yep.
Right. They were like, "Oh my gosh, we got to tear these statues down," right? And then probably like 5% of people who walk by there that probably said that have no idea those statues existed there until somebody said something. And I'm not.
Yeah. I bet
I'm
you
not
there's
defending.
a high percentage of
Right.
people that are like that. But I mean,
I'm not defending
that's a sensitive
anybody.
subject matter.
Right. And I'm not defending A or B, or I'm not defending whatever. I think it was horrible what happened, and I think it was horrible for any culture, to go through something like that. But nevertheless, I don't think that it's, worth to get upset over, like if you go to a comedy show, you know what I mean? It's something that that you're going to get, you're going to laugh at it. So you want to, you almost want to look at it as it's sort of like an entertainment forefront. Like you're not sort of, how do I say it? Like, you sort of put yourself in their world, basically, right?
Yeah.
And you look at it as sort of an entertainment, funny situation or a funny show,
Right. Yeah.
So, but people can't do that. They sit there and hear something, like if they made, because I'm a white guy, if they made fun of me as a white guy, despite of whatever happened in my culture way back in my ancestry times, because I come from Scotland and, have Germany and whatever, but I wouldn't be offended by it because
Right.
I'd be like, oh, that's pretty funny. Ha ha, laugh, laugh,
Right. I mean, like while I was talking about the subject matter, like the R word. I don't like the R word. Like
Right.
in normal conversation, even if one of my friends have said it, it's happened a couple times in my house, or if we're hanging out, they've said it. I'm like, hey man, don't say that around me.
Yeah.
And then they respect it. But like, let's say I went to the Tampa Improv and the comedian's making a joke, and that's a bit. That's that person's job, and I'm not
Right.
going to sit there and get up in the middle of the show and like, oh, everyone needs to walk out. I understand that what that person's setting out to do. It's to push the envelope, to say something that isn't funny in real life, but he's making light of it in terms of comedy.
Yeah.
In a way, I can separate the two. There's some people
Who can't
now
do that?
that can't separate stuff anymore. And
Yeah.
it's getting kind of ridiculous in my opinion.
It is, because it's like they hear something and they're just itching to say something or put it on. I guarantee you they can get on to like all the social media quicker than they can even dial the phone, to be honest.
Oh
with
yeah.
You.
As soon as
'cause-
someone gets mad at something, they hit Twitter and
yeah,
stuff like that. And
Which
they
is-
bitch about it and they want to cancel it. Like something happened a couple weeks ago. Madam Belly mentioned it to me. I didn't know anything about it. I looked at in 5 minutes on Twitter and I saw about it. Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, he something came out on social media about him going to a specific church that is kind of homophobic, or he's right wing, or it was something stupid, and people are trying to get him canceled on Twitter. I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, seriously? It's
why are they trying to get him?
Guy can
canceled on
believe whatever
Twitter?
he wants to believe. He's an entertaining and funny guy. If you don't want to associate with that, don't watch any of his movies and don't do it. He's not breaking the law.
But why would they?
Or anything?
Why would
It's
they want
crazy.
to? What's the point of getting him canceled on Twitter? What is that? Is that like, is he getting paid for that?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Why are they concerned about getting him canceled off of Twitter? Is he getting paid for it?
No, I mean, it's they figure out a piece of news about someone, and they think some hashtag gets trended, and they have to come out and apologize about something. We don't have to apologize about everything anymore. Right? It's like everyone wants an apology for something.
Do your thing. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. I'm not worried about it.
I mean, yeah, okay. He goes to if he, I don't know if he does or not, but let's say he does go to a homophobic church. He goes to a homophobic church.
That's
If
his
we,
thing.
you know how I feel about religion and God beliefs and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch Chris Pratt because he makes me fucking laugh and he's entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever they want to do. Here's the thing. I don't care what you do, in your spare time, as long as you're not a kid toucher, or a pedophile, or nothing like that. Because if that's the case, I don't want to support you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
because
if
you're
not impeding on someone's well-being,
yeah.
I have no problem with you.
Yeah. I don't care what you do. If you want to do, whatever it is that you want to do, you want to spend all your money on Las Vegas or whatever and do your thing. All right, go do your thing. Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That's how you want to live your life, then that's cool. That's,
Yeah, I'm not going to block people out of my life
Yeah.
or try to get them canceled because they don't agree with me
Right.
100% on everything I believe.
Listen, I got more things to worry about than what somebody on, these social media sites are worried about, because that's
Yeah.
all they are. They're just people want to be trolls, and that's what we are.
Oh yeah.
We went from going out in the neighborhood and, like, for example, if I had an issue with you, right? This is how they used to do it in the old days. I don't know if you remember this, but if I had an issue with you, okay, I'd be like, yo, man, we didn't have a talk. I'd be like, all right, what's going on? He's like, hey, man, I have an issue with you, blah, blah, blah. And we sort of talk it out and sort of duke it out, or, not really duke it out yet. And then if it comes to that point, then we sort of duke it out, and you know what? We get back up, we shake hands.
Yeah, that's how it used to be, old school.
Yeah, and then now it's sort of like, you say one wrong thing, and everybody's got 1,001 cell phones out. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, even in personal lives, if, someone takes something the wrong way, even if you have a conversation with it, if it comes back to that, you're not explaining it how they want you to explain
Right.
it, or they don't get the reaction that they want from you, they, they split from you, whether it's friends or family or total strangers.
Yeah.
Now, there's family that don't speak to me anymore because, I gave an opinion on something, they didn't like it, and I didn't give them the reaction that they wanted, so they're like, okay, well, we'll cease to have
Conversations.
conversation. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
Wow, that was harsh.
that's your choice. That's not my choice.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of harsh to not talk to you, even if it's a family member. And
Yeah, I've had family and friends,
was it
especially since this political shit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Was
It's
it,
like,
was it somebody
my
close?
dad's
or-
my best friend, and we don't agree with anything politically. But whenever I need him or whenever he needs me, phone calls right there.
Yeah.
Or what do you need? We're right there.
Were you close to this family member that you had an issue with?
Say again?
Were you close to him? This person? Your family
Yeah,
member?
I've had friends and,
Yeah.
and different family members, especially politics, where
Yeah.
it's just like they cut you off, and it's just like, okay. I mean, that's on you. That's not on me.
Right. See, the thing that sort of strikes me nerve wracking is that because a buddy of mine and I will be talking sort of at work a little bit about politics, and I don't really want to get into politics at work because
You shouldn't. Yeah, you're right about that.
because then it's sort of the people that walk around you are sort of like they might be listening and they may have issues, and it's like, listen, I don't
Right.
want no drama, but the thing is, that's what I'm saying, is like people just they take things such the wrong way, and they only hear like part of what's going on, because I've been very open on my ideas on the politics. It's like, I'm not voting for anybody because nobody to me has done anything they say they're gonna do. You have one guy that wants to get rid of Obamacare, which is fine. That way we don't have to get fined for not having insurance.
Well, they take that away. That doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
That's one of the things Trump did. He struck down the individual mandate, so you don't get fined
Fined.
for not having
So
insurance.
now it's an option, not a demand.
right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least he did that.
Yeah,
Can't
I mean that's,
fault the
but
guy
he's
for
saying
that.
that's part of his health care plan. I'm like, no, that's just an executive order. If you put it, these are the things about Trump that annoy the shit out of me, and people just defend them on. But yeah, going back to what we're talking about, it's like you said, don't talk about politics
Yeah.
or religion at work specifically.
No,
And
no.
two is people are allowed to have a different opinion from you.
Yeah.
And just because they have a different opinion from you, or just because they see things, a situation differently than you see the situation, listen to how they, and actually don't listen to react, listen to absorb the information that the person's giving you. And if they give you a case as to their reasoning behind opinion X, Y, and Z, you know, just because you don't agree with it, don't just shut them out and just don't just ignore them from then on, and just shoo them away.
Right.
Like, okay, I see the message that you're trying to convey. I don't agree with it because of X, Y, and Z, but I still love you at the end of the day. Not this whole, oh, you don't agree with me, go fuck off.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it's come down to in 2020.
It's and that's what I'm saying. It's like, and it's just like with the masks, right? People are getting tired of these things. People are starting to see, like, this is sort of dumb. People, that's what I've been hearing, is like people have been sort of like, this whole thing, like people who were like really believed, like, hey, look, this is, oh my God, we're all gonna die type people, right? Are now saying like this is dumb. We bought the cheese and we drank the wine. What's going on with this? What's going on with the masks? It's.
I still think you should wear your mask.
But
I'm a big proponent of that.
People have been seeing what I've been saying all along. It's like, don't believe all that hype. Don't believe.
I mean, it's still going around. I mean, this thing's not gone, and we're spiking it. Well, Florida's doing. I think Hillsborough County's doing okay. I haven't been watching the numbers like I was in the beginning, but like the places where it's getting colder, because people migrate inside. They don't want to be out in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
It's going to spread more, but it's just one of those things. I mean, people are going to do what they want to do. We're such a big country that they're not going to wear masks. They're not going to. It's going to stay around forever.
I think it's just we're seeing residuals. We're just seeing residual spikes. Like, how an earthquake sort of rattles the land, right? And then when it settles in, it's sort of like those aftershocks, right?
Yeah.
I think this ship has already sailed, and we've already passed. The ship's already passed us, and these are sort of the aftermarks.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. I mean, the thing that we have going for us is it's still 90 degrees outside. So people can still be outside and distance, and we're not all congregating inside. Like, even if you go to the store, it's not like 1,000 people in the store at one time or at a restaurant. Some people are still sitting outside and doing all that shit.
I bet you by next year, sometime, maybe like, mid next year, I bet you there'll be no more masks.
No, it'll go into next year. I mean, hopefully.
Not like the whole year, though, I don't think.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how winter goes. That's going to be the thing. Winter with flu season too.
Oh man, could you imagine if there was a zombie outbreak?
Dude, we'd be fucked.
Like, I've always said this is sort of like a litmus test of what would happen. Even if this is not like a zombie type of outbreak, but if there was, I mean, that's sort of. What's that?
We'd be screwed.
Yeah, we would be screwed because we would have no idea what to do.
No, they wouldn't have any. Well, it also, I mean, see, I'm going to get real technical. It also depends on what kind of virus the zombie virus is. Are they dead and came back to life like the George Romero, or is it like some sort of virus like 28 days later where they're actually still alive, but they're inflicted with a virus and can starve? Because if it's the latter, you can survive it if you have enough food and shelter.
Yeah, but the one from 28 days later, though, wasn't they sort of aggressive zombies?
Yeah, they were. It was like some sort of like a rage virus where they just attacked you on sight.
I was thinking sort of like, what's the one with, what's the guy's name? The English actor that does, him and the bigger guy. They did the movie Paul.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Those zombies. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, it's either. I mean, like I said, if it's dead people that are coming back to life, we're screwed. Uh, if it's an actual virus and you have
Yeah.
some smart people that are prepared, some people might live. But it's like we as a society now, if we had zombies, there'd be people like, oh, this is fake. There's no zombies. Meanwhile, they're fucking getting munched on,
Yeah.
on their ankle by a zombie.
Selfie with a zombie. That's what it's
Yeah.
about. All right, so we touched on a little bit of it. Halloween is coming up.
Yeah.
It's a big, basically it's a big candy fest for kids that like dress up and adults dress up. I've dressed up quite a bit. One time I was Jason, and people that were seeing me walk the neighborhood, like I had the mask on and everything, right?
Yeah.
And they actually thought I was Jason.
Well, remember when we were doing off the cuff, we did that. We watched that movie Terrifier with that clown.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was that clown one year.
Were you?
And I scared the living shit out of some people here in Plant City.
Oh really?
Like, oh yeah,
Surprised you didn't
'cause,
get shot.
I had a bloody head. I had fake blood all over me. I didn't say a word to anyone. I just smiled at them creepily and just acted a lot with my body and stuff like that. I was freaking out a lot of people.
So, do you think that, or do you believe in? And I know you don't believe in, religion and stuff like that. But do you think that Halloween is sort of like a day for like the ghost to come out and
No.
no? Do you think it's a Hallmark day?
Yeah, it's
a made up holiday.
It's a made up holiday. It's. I know there's a history behind Halloween and it has
Yeah.
folklore or whatever, but I don't believe in any of this. Anything supernatural, I don't believe in. at all.
No, not even if you saw it right in front of your face, you'd be like, oh shit, there it is.
I mean, we'd have to invest. This is the rabbit hole we always get into. You have to investigate it and see if there's a natural reason before
if you saw a ghost, right?
say if it's supernatural.
Yeah, if you saw a ghost, like let's just say Ghostbusters. Remember the opening scene of Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Where they walk in, the first one, they walk into the library and they see the ghost like reading a book.
Yeah.
So if you saw that,
Right.
okay, and you're like standing there like probably like 2.5, 3 feet, maybe 4 feet away from it, right? And you
Mhm.
see it, and there's no wires, no strings, no projector. It's not a
How do you know that
covers
though?
ghost.
You don't know that. You're in the moment. Yeah, like if you're seeing that, you're caught up in what you're looking at right now. You're not thinking of anything else that might be rational to explain it. You're just seeing what you're seeing.
I'm sure that if you're seeing something like that, you're not rationally thinking about, so I wonder what this is.
No, you're not. I mean, in that moment, you're not sitting there like, oh, is there a projector in this room?
You're seeing
and someone's fucking with me. You're not. You're seeing this, what appears to be apparition in front of you.
You're what you're thinking probably is like, oh man, I got to change my pants. I don't know what I just saw, So what you're saying is, if you saw something like that, would you believe in it at least for a little bit? Would you give a little bit of credit?
I would believe that I'm seeing something, but after my adrenaline goes down, then my critical cap goes on. Like, okay, how can we explain this? But this is a good segue. I think you would get a kick out of this show on Netflix that actually has this kind of balance. It's called Evil, where
I've heard of it.
Go ahead.
I've heard of it.
Okay. Yeah. So there's this forensic scientist or investigator or whatever. And she teams up with this guy who wants to be a Catholic priest. And every show is they go investigate something that is claimed to be supernatural. And, is it really demons or miracles, or is it some sort of natural cause? It's a really, really smart show. And there's this one guy on there that's kind of just like me. And he's like, oh, that's a deep fake. Oh, there's a projector, and he shows the projector on how they do stuff, and all. And it's a really, really good show.
It's called Evil.
I'm about 3 or 4 episodes in, but it's something I definitely would recommend, like, especially because I know you're into the supernatural stuff. It gives a good balance of.
I mean, do you think that it's
for supernatural?
Do you think that it's sort of real? I mean, do you think that it has some sort of legitimate, circumstance? or do you
I
think
mean,
it's sort of?
I fully believe that there's people that believe that supernatural things happen.
What I mean, what? But do you think the supernatural is actually real though?
No, there's no way to test it. So
How would you
I
not
won't
test
say- I
it?
won't- okay, let me walk that
How
back.
could you test it?
I'm not going to say no, it's definitely not, but we have no
Uh-huh.
way to test that if something is supernatural.
Right.
I just don't immediately jump to conclusions saying something supernatural, because you got to rule out all the natural explanations of something before you even attempt to jump to supernatural in my worldview.
Okay, so how long would you have to take to sit there and analyze said video?
I mean, you'd have
to-
to. I mean, I would have to get someone to actually do it, but I mean, you have to exhaust all the natural causes of why event XYZ happened before
Right.
you even, in my mind, contemplate, okay, this could be a ghost or this could be a demon or whatever. And I know I'm on a lonely island here, even in my own household. Like my Madam Belly believes in supernatural stuff and
Uh-huh.
presences and ghosts and
So
stuff
she
like
thinks
that. I just
that.
don't. It's I have no reason to
No, I
believe.
mean
And
you're not
you know,
on your own island. I mean, it's everybody has their own little niche about it. I think that I don't know. I've been watching a lot of those paranormal activity shows, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta say that it's probably hard to replicate some of the stuff that they've shown on there. To be honest with you, in a production world,
Yeah.
I mean,
mean,
unless you got CGI.
the things with like exorcisms or the things with the paranormal
That
ghost
freaks me
stuff,
out.
it's always a negative. Where's the happy ghost that just shows up and says, "Yeah, I'm a happy ghost. You
Like
know, I'm just
Casper?
here, and you know, I'm here. I'm real."
Yeah.
But it's always like some sort of evil spirit that's like knocking on something, or there's a snarl or something to freak someone out, or you know, with
Yeah.
exorcisms, for example, especially in the Catholic Church.
That freaks
you know,
me out.
the folklore is you got to be extremely religious to have a demon in you and need an exorcism. Why isn't an atheist needing an exorcism?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. Those are the questions that I have. A lot
Right,
of the
right.
time.
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things to where that type of stuff you can't really question. You just sort of, I guess, you have to have faith.
Right,
You know.
and that's something that I don't have. Well, the way I define faith, I don't have faith in anything.
Okay.
Well, you got to again. It goes
have
with your
faith in the
definitions
show, I
of
mean,
you know what your definition of faith is. Faith is, to me, is the belief of something without good evidence.
Yeah.
To believe
I have
it.
faith that we'll have Rick Danford and Joel Weinkoop on the show as well, but apparently that didn't happen.
Oh, we had Rick.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wanted to keep him for the entire show.
Then you cut him off, and he's like, "Fuck you."
I didn't cut him off. I was trying to actually cut him off with music so I can,
Oh, I know.
but
One thing I was gonna say before that Zoom meeting ended with Rick is, if you're not doing anything this Halloween and you're staying at home with your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend,
Yeah.
whomever, and you want something entertaining and you want something Halloweeny to do, turn off the lights, go to his website. What's the website for No Sleep Tonight, horrorradio.com, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Listen to one of his stories, man. Just put it on the TV, shut off the lights, light
Just
a
listen
candle,
to it.
Have a spooky Halloween.
Yeah,
with a scary story.
I listened to his the one show for Halloween that he's going to play for that night, and I got to tell you, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but it'll make you sort of go to the edge. I mean, it's sort of like that's how much of a picture he paints with these shows.
Yeah, I listened to a couple of them, and they're
yeah.
really, really well done.
He wants me to do
really
something
well
on
done.
one of these
That's
shows
why I was
too.
like, because I sit there and like I watch a movie or I hear a story or a TV show, and I'm like, man, I could come up with something. And then that's why I asked those questions like, hey, are you open to, if someone has an idea, send them your way?
Right.
I was happy to hear him say that. Yeah, send ideas, man. We'll love to make that stuff come to life.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, these guys like Rick Danford, and Joel Weinkoop, they do a lot for, the community, the independent community. Like I just finished up a couple of scenes for him for the Craiglawn incident, which is sort of like an alien, like comes down to Earth during the COVID time and, shoots people and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the conversations I had with Joel was like, he was like, people aren't sort of responding to, I guess, his Facebook tweets or whatever. Like, Joel, man, you just, he decided he's just going to do it for himself. And I go, yeah, man, that's what you got to do. You got to just do it for yourself. You got to like it for yourself. And, hopefully, people will enjoy it too, which I think it is. And that's how we help out with everybody. We help out independent people. And most people, like, want to get paid for being in a movie. Like, one person we brought on to Slash a Weekend wanted $500 to put her on camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's a shoestring budget, so you ain't getting nothing.
Right. Yeah, that's why I appreciate guys like Rick and Joel is, there's a lot of talented people in this world,
Yeah.
but they don't know what to do or how to catch that break to get their genius and to get their ideas and, their creativity out there. And Rick and Joel being open to people reaching out to them and listening to these people's ideas, and in some instances taking those ideas and putting it on the radio or making a film out of it.
Right.
There's a lot to be said about their character.
Oh,
for doing
absolutely.
stuff
Yes.
like that.
Like with the drone work that I've been doing, I like to get the best shots that I can,
Right.
to make. And I'm actually working on I took the drone out to Curtis Hickson Park, right,
Mhm.
over there in downtown Tampa, and got some really good shots with the little railroad bridge right there, and I tracked a bird coming back up the river, so it looks really good, it really does, and I'm it's just an investment, it's a nice little
Yeah, man, you got some good footage too, man.
yeah, it's getting better every time I do it. And that's what I want to offer to the independent, film community as well. Is like, we can do so much for you guys in that realm. Like, get shots that you'll never believe to get shots and make your videos pop and shine, So let me ask you this. What, going off of Halloween, what is probably the most scariest movie you've watched?
Ever?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a legitimate fear of spiders. So like legitimate
Arachnophobia?
fear. And arachnophobia is
Yeah.
probably the scariest movie to me. But in terms, it's hard. I mean, I've been watching horror movies since I was like 4 or 5 years old. So it's been drone into my head that it's all make believe and fake. So it's not much that actually freaks me out about it. But I've been disturbed by some movies.
Okay.
There's this movie called Inside. It's a
Inside.
French horror movie.
Uh-huh.
Just the premise of it, it's this lady is pregnant, and I think the next day she's going to go have a cesarean section, and then she gets a knock on the door, and it all hell breaks loose the rest of the movie.
Wow.
With a twist ending. So
Very
definitely
interesting.
check that out.
Yeah.
It's a well done film. I believe you have to read it because it's in French.
In French.
So you gotta, if you don't like subtitles, sorry. But another movie I recently saw, which fits well in 2020, it's on Netflix. It's called Alive. It wasn't scary.
I've heard of that
it's
one,
another
yeah.
zombie movie that's set in the social media age.
Oh, really?
Done pretty well. It's a Korean film.
The
Again,
zombies
you gotta
gonna come
read the
get you.
subtitles. It seems like a lot of international horror movies are sticking out to me lately. But yeah, nothing that really like scares me.
I'd have to say The Exorcist probably was the one for me.
I mean, you also have you believe in that kind of stuff too.
Well, yeah, that, I mean, that takes a play in it too, and
that's the thing. Like the stuff that we have beliefs in real life, those kind of stories are the ones that affect us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because
I could see that with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I was raised in the faith that I was raised in, and
right. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was instilled, but it was sort of instilled in me. You go to church every Wednesday.
It's in the back of your head.
and you go to church every Sunday. You know, you spend 4 hours at church, and which is listen, you worship wherever you want to worship. If you
Yeah,
want
I
to
don't
worship,
care what anyone.
yeah,
Until you start crossing into my personal life or
Right.
trying to make it my laws, your
Right.
beliefs, that's where I have a problem. But like, you can believe whatever you want, and I have no problem with it.
So, watching that movie, sort of like, kind of drove home, I guess, what the actual sort of, I guess, well, at that time, you sort of had to have permission and have proof, to present to the Catholic Church.
Yeah. That's a
And
lot
so-
with that evil show I'm talking about too. It's kind of the
Right.
same vein. You gotta make a case for them to go investigate it.
So I'm watching it, and it's like, holy crap! Just to kind of the stuff that she has to go through, with this film. So that was the scariest to me. That was that the Exorcist movie. I see it in the theaters, the remake, not the remake, with the added scenes to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she's like coming down the stairs backwards. Remember that?
Yeah. When
Yeah.
she does the spider walk or whatever. It is.
Yeah, that's sort of creepy right there. That'd
Yeah.
put your hair up on end. But let's see, what else was there?
Actually,
Candyman.
while we're on scary movies, I actually saw an article a
Uh-huh.
couple days ago where science actually did a study about the scariest film of all time, and they did the average person's heartbeat, of course, because when you're scared, your adrenaline spikes and your heartbeat. The movie Sinister actually came in at number 1, which
Sinister?
I wasn't scared at all about
Really?
from that movie. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen it. They also said that about what's the one with the banjos?
Deliverance.
Deliverance. I watched Deliverance, and I didn't find anything with Deliverance that was even remotely disturbing, except for the two people who just sort of stared at you with the banjos.
Well, I mean, the whole squeal like a pig scene's kind of disturbing. Like, it's guys go on kayak trips and go on adventures with their friends on the weekend all the time.
Yeah.
And to go to this small town and have this kind of stuff happen, it is kind of scary, but it's a possibility that something like that could happen. I mean, it's a low possibility, but I
Right.
can see where people could get freaked out by that too.
Do you like small towns?
Like Plant City.
Well, Plant City is a really small town. I'm sorry. They
No, I mean, like backwoods, banjo, no teeth. Can't
That's
put
in-
a sentence
that's
together.
in Lakeland, buddy.
They
So-
still call gas petrol.
Yeah, that's in
Stuff like
Lakeland right
that.
there.
They got one
man.
diner where all you get's meatloaf.
Yeah, there was what is it? I think in Claremelle. You know where Claremelle is?
I've heard of it. I don't know where it's
Yeah,
at.
it's. I remember back in the day where they used to had Ryan's Steakhouse. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Where it was sort of like you can order food or whatever. But that was a joint back in the day, was Ryan's Steakhouse, and I think they had one in Plant City too. And people were just like in line around the door to get the food.
Huh.
But now you guys got the Fred's Market. I don't know if you've ever been there before. Have you
No,
been
I
there?
lost you on that one. I didn't hear what you
The
said.
Fred's Market.
Oh, Fred's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good restaurant right there. The
Yeah, we
nice,
got in there for breakfast. Like they have a breakfast buffet. We've done
Yeah.
that a couple times.
Oh, trust me, I'd be up there a lot more than a couple times.
Yeah, I've only gone there a couple times.
How many handfuls have you gone?
I don't fit in with that crowd. No, I'm just playing. No, I think we've gotten like like they have the family dinners you can bring
Yeah.
home. And we done the Sunday breakfasts there and all that stuff too.
It's good though. It's nice, good home style cooking.
It's Southern food.
Yeah. I've eaten at so many different restaurants. Duffy's was good. You ever had Duffy's?
No.
No, Duffy's was good for a little bit. You know who's gotten bad though? Was Applebee's.
I mean, that's just chain bullshit.
Yeah, Applebee's gotten bad though. Their service has gotten horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I went to, it was my anniversary in September, my
Uh-huh.
actual getting together anniversary. Now, my wedding anniversary, and
Right.
we had a date night for the first time in 6 months. My asshole was so tight going to a restaurant during this pandemic, dude. Like, she took pictures. She's like, "Oh, date night," and you could tell he's not happy.
Yeah.
I wasn't
It's
happy
like,
to
God,
go.
don't fucking
It's
take pictures.
it's
of
just
me,
a totally different experience. But we
Yeah.
went to Korean barbecue. We've been doing a lot of Korean barbecue.
Oh, really?
When we go
Okay.
out, and highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's I haven't tried Korean barbecue. It sounds pretty good. You know what I
Yeah,
like?
but you got that stomach issue too.
Yeah, I can't have anything spicy. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I mean, we like the spicy stuff, so it may not be
Oh,
good for you,
man,
but it's
no.
good food. Korean
You
barbecue.
know who was speaking of like Korean barbecue, and I don't know if they open up their buffet, but the Hoa restaurant. You ever had that one?
Which one?
The Hoa Chinese restaurant.
No.
Oh, it's over there in South Del Navry, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't venture out that way at
Well,
all.
I'm saying if you ever do, man, they've got some freaking fantastic Chinese food.
Okay.
And they got it on a buffet, which is sort of nice too. I can't really eat buffets, like I used to.
I used to kill me some buffets back in the day.
Yeah, I couldn't. I
Can't
used
do
to-
it anymore.
When I was at Rooms to Go, I used to be able to kill them like they were nothing.
Yeah, now it's like I eat until I'm full and I can't handle
Yeah.
any more than that now.
I'm like a plate, maybe
Yeah, right.
maybe a plate and a quarter. That's about it.
Yeah, back in the day when I used to drink and go out, I used to kill a buffet, like 4 or 5 plates full
Really?
of food.
I used to go with God rest his soul, my cousin, right, and he'd be my helper for the day. So we sit there and we're like 10 stops in, and we got to do like 5 more before the end of the day, and we've only got like maybe 3 or 4 hours left. So we're at the buffet and I'm like, hey man, we got to go, and I'm already like on like my quarter of the plate, and he's sitting there with that one plate with the leaning tower of Pisa of like,
Yeah.
food. And I'm like, dude, come on, you got to eat all that stuff. He's like, man, don't bother me. I want to enjoy my food. I go, well, that's great, but we only got like a certain amount of time,
Right.
But yeah, I can't do that anymore. I can't eat like the leaning tower of Pisa anymore. That's
Even like pizza. Like I used to kill a pizza back in the day. I ate like
Yeah.
2 slices. I feel like shit.
yeah. Doesn't that suck? But
Yeah,
you-
like getting old sucks, man.
All right, well, check out Rick Danford. What was his? I had it up here, then it sort of went down on me again.
Twitter, I think, is Enigma at Enigma Rick.
Yeah.
Check out No Sleep Tonight Radio Show.
Low Sleep Tonight, there it is.
Where he actually is going to have a premiere on Halloween, Bad Candy House. That's episode 3 of the series. It Waits is episode 1, and The Beast Must Eat is episode 2. That's available now.
Well, you took
Halloween
notes, didn't
Day
you?
is going to be episode 3, Bad Candy House.
Man, you took notes, didn't you?
I have it all up on my screen, brother. I'm getting good at this shit.
No, you are. It sounds very surprising amongst other people that tried to do it and didn't work out. So no, and only speak of that singular, not plural. So
Gotcha.
that was a curveball if you weren't, catching on to it. So yeah, No Sleep Tonight. So Belly, thank you for doing the show.
No problem.
I don't know where you're at. I mean, I don't know how long you want to go for.
I'm
but,
good. I'm about at the end. I'm starting to sweat
yeah.
and shit.
Well, thank you for doing the show, man, and good luck to you.
Thanks,
Next, what day are you having the surgery?
I have it Wednesday the 4th.
Wednesday
so
the
I'll be on
4th.
the shelf up to 2 months. So
Uh-huh.
hopefully Gut Check will be back shortly after I get the AOK from the doctor, get the brace
Okay.
off my neck. We may move it from Sunday, because I know you got the other show going.
Well, no, I mean
Uh,
the thing is that show was just in for right now for the spot for yours.
Yeah, we'll talk
and
about it
then-
because
yeah.
Monday mornings were kicking my ass at work because we were up kind of late doing the show. So
Okay.
we'll talk about it once I get
Are
closer
you
to
like an
coming
8
back,
hour
but
8
I
hour
will be
sleep
back.
guy?
Hopefully we have by the time I get back a new president.
Okay,
And
let
then
me
we got to find some content.
ask you this, and I'm sure we'll have a lot. Let me ask you this, just at the top of your head, right? Who do you think is going to win the election?
I think
and-
Biden wins it.
And be honest.
I honestly, if we follow the polls, and again, I look at the electoral map. Biden literally just had to switch 80,000 votes in 3 states to win the presidency.
Right.
And he's leading those now, and he's making contests of other states that normally aren't contests. Would I be surprised if Trump won? No, but I think because polls are imperfect.
Right.
But if you follow the poll science and how all goes back into it, I think we're going to have a new president.
You think
Joe
so?
Biden.
I don't know. I have a feeling that and again, it's 50-50 along the way. But if I was speaking in hyperbole, I think Trump may have maybe coming back for another 4 years.
I mean, I can see where people are seeing it. I just don't see Trump winning in a landslide like a couple of my friends say.
Right.
It's going to be a total landslide. You just can't see it on the map, but you got to be into that stuff like I am to look at the electoral map. But just looking at the map, and don't get me wrong, I did vote for Biden because, like I said, I'd vote for a roadkill sandwich over Trump. But I think Biden's going to win.
Yeah.
It's just looking at the map itself, I wouldn't be shocked if Trump won because it's hard to beat an incumbent. But I'm not a huge fan of Biden either, so I don't want anyone that's listening like, oh, that liberal, blah 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 Biden. I'm more liberal than Joe Biden, but I happen just to vote for him.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting to hear you say that because I'm like, like I said, these guys don't do anything that I know of that try to change anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, why should I even vote for? I mean, I'd rather put my name down there and vote for me.
I mean, a vote's a vote, man.
Yeah, but I mean, there again, there's another whole topic that is for another show.
Yes.
So can I call you like on the phone? Would Madam Belly put you up there if I said, "Hey, look, let me call Belly and live on the Tuesday show and see
not for the first few weeks because I'll probably tell you to go fuck yourself.
Like, hey, Belly, can I get you anything? You want some water? You want, what do you want, man?
I'll be like,
how are you going to be able to like, eat normal food or?
I mean, I guess I'll I have my pre-op appointment on Thursday. I'll find out all the details then. I'm hoping I'd be able to eat.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, you may not be able to eat because they're going through your neck.
I mean, maybe the first day or two I might have to have like milkshakes or something, but
Really?
I won't complain about that.
You'll be sipping a lack of luxury, my friend.
That's right. I got a recliner chair, brand new, coming to me tomorrow, being delivered. It's going to be my throne.
Nice.
Madam Belly bought me a new pillow so I could be nice and comfortable. It's one of those cooling pillows.
Well, you
So
better
she's already taking care of me, man.
You better worship her.
Oh, I mean, I've been worshiping her for 10 years, man.
For taking care of you like that. I mean, that's,
I love her, dude.
Yeah,
She's a
no,
good
it's
woman.
it's cool.
Deals with my shit.
Yeah, it's cool. So you'll be out for a couple months, and hopefully sometime, maybe Sunday, may not be Sunday. We'll figure it out, and
But I will be back, and I will offend you, and you just got to deal with it.
We'll have to go through your surgery and how you did with it.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely go through it. I'm sure,
Yeah.
like, once, I'm done with the initial healing, I can call and give you guys an
Yeah,
update.
absolutely. But we'll have to go through it, and especially when we go back to your show.
Yeah. I'll let you know the first time I'm able to masturbate or something. Like, hey, I finally got to do it.
Hey, man, that's good, man. At least you able to decum yourself, So, all right. Well, thank you so much. The plan was to have Joel Weinkoop and Rick Danford on, as well as Belly from Gut Check Live. But I mean, that's cool. We got Belly for the rest of the show.
Yeah, man.
Mark
Thanks for having me, brother.
No worries, my friend. Mark the bartender is taking care of some bar stuff. Jazz taking care of some work stuff, so they couldn't be in tonight, which is fine. I appreciate Rick Danford for talking to us for the first segment. Joel, I'm so sorry that it didn't work, for the whole thing. We tried, buddy. We tried. Belly, thank you so much for joining us, representing Gut Check Live.
No problem. Thanks
I
for having me,
appreciate
man.
it. No worries, my friend. So that's about it. Another Tuesday show. Next Tuesday, the guys will be back, as well as I will. We're going to do a whole new show. Season 7, episode, I think it's 3 for next week. Talk about some more stuff. Really cool news articles. Don't forget, probably Sunday at 9 o'clock, we're going to be doing the Social Reload Show. And that's with the savior of the channel, Matt. We appreciate you, my friend. And then it's about it. And then probably like Bull's Thoughts. We're going to try that out, see what happens. You know, don't want to know what's going to happen. We'll try it out. Stay tuned. A whole more new line of content coming your way. Hey, do you think you could, videotape your progression?
If I can remember. Doctor said he's giving me some strong stuff, so I don't even know if I'll be coherent.
All right. Well, Billy, thank you so much again. I appreciate it, my friend.
No problem, man. We'll see everyone in 2 months.
Yeah, man. Let's keep in touch, my friend.
Definitely.
We'll see you next Tuesday. Bull and the Bartender Show, Bulls Radio Lounge. Just go to youtube.com and search Bulls Radio Lounge. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday. Be safe out there.
So many words I never told you. I'm still alive, I still feel you. So many words I never told you. I'm still alive, I still feel you.